May Triple Gem bless you all. Once again, you are joining with Vesak Poede live in program. Vaishakyabhiwandana brought to you by JAYA TV. So let's join with the English sermon. Let me introduce our preacher, this chief patron of Sri Battaramulla Pannipitiya Sri Sudassanarama Sadaham Monastery, Venerable Dr. Mirisse Dhammika Thero. I invite our devotees to welcome Reverend Thero with much honor, saying Sadhu, Sadhu, Sadhu. This sermon, which is telecast worldwide, is sponsored by Dr. Indira Kulatilaka of Lady Ridgeway Hospital. This invitation is to offer flowers to Lord Buddha. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. It's high time to offer that to Venerable Mirisse Dhammika Thero in order to symbolize the invitation to commend this sermon. We respectfully and devotionally invite the chief patron of Sri Battaramulla Pannipitiya Sri Sudassanarama Sadaham Monastery, Venerable Dr. Mirisse Dhammika Thero, to conduct this sermon in compression for us. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
By the blessings of the Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha, first of all, I would like to bless and wish everyone to be well and happy. Also to continue your faith on Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha. Before starting my sermon, I would like to invite everyone to recite Namo Tassa for 3 times together. Namo Tassa. Samanta Cakkavalesu Atra Gacchantu Devata Saddhammang Muni Rajase Sunantu Sagga Mokkhadan Dhamma Savana Kalo Ayang Bhadanta Dhamma Savana Kalo Ayang Bhadanta Dhamma Savana Kalo Ayang Bhadanta Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Eka Puggalo Bhikkhave Loke Uppajjamano uppajjati Bahujana hitaya bahujana sukhaya Lokanukampaya Attaya hitaya sukhaya Deva manussanang Katamo eka puggalo Tathagato arahang Samma Sambuddhoti. It goes to my honor to Chief Advisor to Vipassana Meditation Center at Colombo 7, Most Venerable Mahakashyapa Thera Kotmale Ududumbara Kashyapa Thera and other Mahasangha. Again, I would like to wish everyone to be well and happy with the blessings of the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha. I know sometimes you may feel tired from the morning to until now. Of course, when we get used to follow this kind of posture with Dhamma, and then our mind doesn't feel any kind of hardness. It could be physical or mental. Because of our more faithful thoughts, what we are going to create it on the Buddha. Therefore, I would like to invite everyone to focus on my sermon with the confidence of the Buddha. I recited 2 sentences, I think you could hear clearly. Eka puggalo loke uppachamano uppajati. There's only and one great person who excited or who existed on this earth. For what? Bahujana hitaya, bahujana sukhaya, lokanu kampaya, attaya hitaya sukhaya, deva manusana. For the well-beingness, greatness, worthiness, beneficence, and benevolence of humans and gods. So that's why the Buddha existed on this earth. How long the Buddha passed away? How long the Buddha passed away? Today, the Buddha passed away 2,567 years ago. The Buddha passed away 2,567 years ago in India. There's a kind of story running all around the Sri Lanka or world. The Buddha was born in Sri Lanka. I don't have any debate toward that story, but still, as a experienced and senior monk, this is what my acceptance. That means the Buddha was born in India. With lots of historical incidents, and then there are lots of truths according to Indian and Sri Lankan history. So, the Buddha was born in India 2,567 years ago. My next question is, can you see the Buddha today? Can you see the Buddha today? Of course, yes. How? By practicing Dhamma. According to the Buddha's Pali connotations, yo Dhammam passati, so mam passati. Someone practices the Dhamma who sees the Buddha even right now. Therefore, we are seeing the Buddha even right now while practicing or following the teachings of the Buddha. And next question is, who is the Buddha? I'm not asking about the Buddha's stories. It comes behind his personal character. I'm asking, who is the Buddha according to the teachings of the Buddha? Who is the Buddha? When you recite Buddhang Saranang Gacchami, what does it mean? Buddhang Saranang Gacchami. What does it mean? I go to the Buddha for my refuge, or I take refuge in the Buddha. Buddhang Saranang Gacchami. I go to the Buddha for my refuge, or I take refuge in the Buddha, or I promise myself to follow the Buddha's teachings or path. This is what we mean when we recite Buddhang Saranang Gacchami. And then, who is the Buddha? Buddha means, answers should be come from you. Buddha means nothing but compassion and wisdom. The Buddha means nothing but compassion and wisdom. It's not my personal ideas, but the Buddha's teachings. When we respect the Buddha, we used to recite, just focus on that voice. I think you may heard about that. Karuna sitala hadayang panya pajjota vihata mohatamang sanaramara devagarung vande sugatang gati vimuttang. The Buddha's great compassion, supreme compassion, is spread all over the world. Not only over human world, but also it went over 3 types of world: Kama, Rupa, Arupa. Everywhere, all over, in the samsaric journey, it was spread with Buddha's supreme compassion. Also, the Buddha spread his wisdom to reduce the darkness of ordinary beings. Darkness of ordinary beings, the Buddha eradicated all kind of their illusions and delusions with his wisdom. It represents us. It represents, his wisdom as lights. The Spirit lights over ordinary beings. Simply just we say, over ordinary human beings, just the Buddha spread his supreme wisdom. Karuna sitala hadayang panya pajjoti vihata mohatamang, therefore, including gods and humans, all living beings, respected because of this Buddha's supreme compassion and wisdom. Therefore, someone is going to follow the Buddha's teaching who is having a potentiality, get rid of this samsaric journey. What samsara means? What samsara means? Samsara means simply the circle of death and birth. That means samsara. So, whoever practices the teachings of the Buddha, who is having a potentiality to get rid of this samsaric journey. Therefore, the Buddha means nothing but compassion and wisdom. When we recite for each time, Buddhang Saranang Gacchami, that means we promise ourselves to be kind and wise. Are you? Do you? Kind and wise? Just ask yourself whether I am kind and wise. Whether I'm kind and wise. Ask ourselves. I think you are so kind. You are so beautiful with your heart. So that's why you are here today. Throughout the day, you are practicing these teachings while having this kind of postures. Of course, you are kind and should be wise. It's a question sometimes when we practice some kind of rituals. It's a kind of question just we create in our mind whether we are going to be wise according to the teachings of the Buddha. How many flowers you have offered in front of the Buddha statues wherever you visit? How many flowers you have offered in front of the Buddha statue with the meaning? Of course, traditionally people used to recite Pujemi Buddhang Vannagandha, so on. But some have not any meaning in their mind. So that's why we have to recite these gathas with the meaning. It's a simple question. Just I have to ask these 2 young boys. What's the meaning of Pujemi Buddhang Kusumena Nina? Simply I have to ask. I think you got an answer. Is that right? Yes. When we offer these beautiful blossoms in front of the Buddha statue, just we have to concentrate on the teachings of the Buddha. These flowers are subject to get withered. These blossoms are subject to get withered. Puppang milayati yatai dhamme kayo tatayati vinasa bhavan. Having comparison with my own body, my body or my life is subject to get sick and old. Finally, I had to leave this world, keeping everything behind. It doesn't matter how much you love yourself or others. By saying, I love you, my mom or dad, or in Sinhala, Amma or Apache, I love you so much. Sometimes you would say, I never leave you, I'll be there all the time, you would say. But absolutely, nothing is permanent. Transient are all component things. This is what you have recited most of the time. Sabbe sankhara anicchati. All component things are transient. That means nothing is permanent, everything is impermanent. Therefore, each time when we offer these flowers in front of the Buddha statue, we have to meditate, we have to be mindful on this. What? These flowers are subject to get withered. Having comparison with my own life, I'm subject to get sick and old. Finally, I have to leave this world. It doesn't matter how much I love myself for others. And then, what you are supposed to do? Do you think you have to cry? I cannot leave this world, I cannot leave you, I cannot leave my beloved, my loved ones. By saying, do you think we have to cry or lament? Of course not. Be mindful. You have to live at the present moment. You have to be mindful with the nature of this sansaric journey. That means, according to karma, everything is not karma, but karma is so strong. Everything is not karma, but karma is strong. Why we came to this world as human beings? Because of our good karma. That means we have done lots of wholesome karma. Good kusala, good karma, we call as kusala. We have done lots of good karma or wholesome karma in our previous lives. So that's why we got this rare chance. Each of you, each of us have a rare chance of humanity. What does mean humanity? Humanity means simply love and compassion. Humanity means the people are following the conceptions of love and compassion. What does mean love there? Love means L-O-V-E. Love means kind of selfish. People used to say, I love you, keeping behind as long as you love me. Otherwise, you know what's going to be. Otherwise, go your own. Mind your business, simply, people used to say. Love is like that. But we used to have a good word into our mind, that means metta. What does mean metta means? Metta means friendliness. Metta means friendliness. To whom you love so much? To whom you love so much? To yourself. To yourself you love so much. So people used to say, I love myself. I don't want to be beaten by anyone else. I like myself. I love myself. I don't want to be beaten by anyone else. I don't want to drop tears because of my, failures or pains or sorrow, because I love myself so much. That means everybody loves themselves. Nobody wants to be beaten by anyone else. By thinking this way, put into your own mind, have your own experience with metta, and then practice metta. Without asking for anything in return, your mind is ready to spread over. That means metta. But love is not like that. Always ask for something in return. So that's why I said, people used to say, I love you, keeping behind as long as you love me. So that's why there are lots of problems among ordinary human beings. That means among putujjana. Among ordinary human beings, there are lots of problems even between wife and husband, parents and children, and friends. There are lots of problems. You promised me to walk with me forever, but now you don't care about me. You don't love me. So why? It collapsed over me. My world is gone. This kind of thoughts destroy my whole world. Why I came to this world to suffer like this? Why you met with me to give that kind of pain and sorrow? By saying, like pouring water, people are asking for happiness. So that's why we are asking people to realize the difference between love and metta. Metta is completely pure, is clean. It doesn't matter when you use the word of love. Only thing is, but you have to put metta into that. And then use the word of I love you, but metta is there. And then you never expect from anyone. I mean, kind of worldly things. There is no attachment, but we have to say non-detachment. But still you are holding each other's hand. Also you would say, I love you. I never leave you. I'll be there all the time. All right. Sometimes you have to write on a paper. That's all right. But still we know our mind is trained to accept the truth of three characteristics of existence. Must it? What it is? Three characteristics of existence. That means anicca, dukkha, anatta. Anicca means impermanence. Anicca means impermanence. Dukkha means, what dukkha means? Dukkha means, people used to say traditionally is suffering. Simply, without having any kind of disturbances, just, I do not like that word. I would like to say it's unsatisfactory or unsatisfactoriness. Dukkha means unsatisfactory. Dukkha. You know, when you say, oh, it's suffering, it is. Sometimes ordinary people get scared of that. Especially in the West, they don't like that. So that's how they used to say, it's a misery. It's a stress and distress. So that's a better word for dukkha, that means unsatisfactory. Of course, by birth is a heritage in that. That means whatever arises, it used to disband. Everything, it has a nature of arising, has the nature of passing away. Yankinchi samude dhammang sabbantan nirodha dhamma. Everything that has the nature of arising, everything that has the nature of arising has the nature of passing away. It's the core of the Buddha's teachings. It comes in the wheel of Dhamma. That means Dhamma Chakkapatana Sutra. It comes. Yankinchi samude dhammang sabbantang nirodha dhammang. It's the core teachings of the Buddha. Everything that has the nature of arising has the nature of passing away. Therefore, there are three characteristics of existence, namely, which are anicca, impermanence, and dukkha, unsatisfactory, and anatta, non-self. If I ask you, to whom you belong to? To whom you belong to? No one is there. Even I don't have any rights to control. When we talk about 100% control, I don't have over my body, or my life or body. Just to say, it's all right when we recite, it's me, it's mine, but it is conventional. Conventionally, it's me, but absolutely nothing to say, my or mine. Conventionally, it's me. Of course, you have to go through studies, higher studies, and finding a job. It depends on, some says, you may get married, have kids, find duties and jobs, and buying vehicles, building houses, so on. It is conventional, but should be contact with morality. Being a moral person, a virtuous person, just you have to continue your studies and duties, also your family, things. That's all right. But only thing is, you are able to continue your conventional path, But still you have to be virtuous. You have to have a moral life. You know why? The Buddha said, Yatta silan tatta panya. Is there a moral life should be a wisdom. If someone is just used to call, who is a wise person, should be, discipline. If you don't have any discipline, it doesn't mean you are a wise person, according to the Buddha. So you have to be a wise person with morality. Oh, there are lots of beautiful people. I'm not talking about your appearance or skin color, but still, your moral life, your discipline, you are virtuous. So that's why I'm saying, oh, you are so beautiful, you are so kind. At the same time, you should be wise. That means, wise, you should be wise. That means, should be wisdom is there. That means, like these flowers, when we offer in front of the Buddhist statue, these flowers are subject to get withered. Having comparison with our own life and bodies, we are subject to get sick and old. We don't want to cry, but to be mindful. So, each time when we recite Buddhaṃ Saranang Gacchāmi, we have to train our mind to accept the truth of three characteristics of existence. That means anicca, dukkha, anatta. We have to go through impermanence, unsatisfactory, and non-self. I don't want to use the word of non-soul or no soul. It's a kind of, we are going to attack some people, some religious people, because they are living in kind of concept of soul. So simply just we have to use self. So, non-self. That means conventionally it's me when we work with this human body, but absolutely nothing to say my own mind. That means nothing is permanent, everything is impermanent. We have to train our mind to accept the truth of anicca, dukkha, anatta. When I give my sermon on three characteristics of existence, do you think I'm going to invite you to be inactive? Of course not. You don't want to escape, from your worldly life. Of course, still, you have to be here. Because being a human is so rare. What's the human population today? What is the human population? What the human population is today? 8 billion. 8 billion. Today, current human population is 8 billion. Compared to animal world, can you count animal world? We are unable to count, but we are able to count human heads. Therefore, we have to appreciate this rare chance. We have to use for a good cause this rare chance. That means dullabhaṃ ca manussataṃ. Being a human is so rare. So appreciate and then use for a good cause. This is what the Buddha asked. We have suffered a lot. We have suffered for millions, billions of lives in our samsaric journey. We have suffered for millions, billions life in our samsaric journey. Having birth in 4 types of hells, namely Naraka, Tirisan, Preta, Asura. Of course, though we are categorizing into 4, boxes, but still, according to Naraka, hell, there are 136 categories we have to go through if you are going to reborn in one of those hells, or in especially hell of Naraka. Of course, we have suffered being in those hells. And then we have to appreciate this rare chance. Oh, I got this rare chance, and then I become a human. Not only that, we everybody met with this Buddha Sasana. We met with this Buddha Sasana, but still we are losing for each moment what? Our physical and mental energy. Not only that, our karma, our longevity. Everything is just we are losing for each moment. I think, I believe, I trust you. You came here in the early morning here. When you leave this monastery, of course you are going home. While losing, I think, just say 10 to 12 hours. When you wake up tomorrow morning, definitely you are going to lose 12 hours. For each moment, we are losing our time. But to get this rare chance to become a human, we have sacrificed a lot. I mean, being a human is so rare, just we have to appreciate and use for good causes. That's why we are asking. And then, conventionally, it's all right, just improve your human qualities like compassion and mercy, giving, sharing, helping each other, giving your helping hands, those who are in needy, that's all right. At the same time, you have to be qualified, going through studies and finding jobs and monies and everything, but should be rightful. And then be satisfied with your own. I'm especially addressing our young people. You don't want to get worries about your appearance or skin color, what you got by your birth. Of course, there are colored people all over the world. Some are white, so-called. Some are black, some are brown. But still, I think this sermon is sponsored by Dr. Indira Kulatilaka. So I don't know to teach any kind of worldly medicine or any kind of subject knowledge. But you know, it doesn't matter which skin color we got by birth, but blood is red, tears are salty. Blood is red, tears are salty. Therefore, it doesn't matter what kind of color we got by our birth, but still we are humans. Therefore, everybody asking for happiness, especially mental happiness. We have to create mental happiness within our own by practicing of the Buddha's path. That means each time when you recite Buddhaṃ Saraṇaṃ Gacchāmi, promise yourself, it is a spiritual promises should be in your mind. I have to be kind and wise. Be kind yourself first, because we got this rare chance. We don't want to lose. We don't want to go back to hell. The Buddha said, with his own supreme knowledge, everybody, all living beings have suffered for millions, billions of lives in their samsaric journey. So I'm addressing every one of you with lots of compassion. So always just we are having constant changes in our lives. By knowing this truth, used for good causes. That means convincingly, being a virtuous people, go through. At the same time, train your mind to accept the moral life of super mundane, lokotara, super mundane path, what the Buddha taught us to practice today. So, I'm asking to you practice renunciation. What does mean renunciation? That means abhinikkamana, abhinikkama or nekkama. Have you practiced nekkama today? Have you practiced nekkama today? Of course. Sometimes wife and husbands, both are here, next to each other. Sometimes parents are here. Sometimes some kids are surround them. But still, if you have kind of nekkama feelings, so feelings of renunciation, that means convincingly it's me, that's all right, they are in my life. People used to say, especially loving people used to say, each other, I love you. I can't put into words. You are like an apple in my eyes. So it's a countless thoughts comes into my mind, that's fine, but absolutely, it's not give up. It is not. It's not you are going to, give up, but still practicing renunciation. That means with understanding, I can see you. And looking at you with compassion, with non-attachment. With non-attachment. I have no any kind of feelings of lust or attachment. Also, I have no any kind of anger, aversion, jealousy, hatred, cruelty, whatever. Are there any words for these negativities? I don't have. But with compassion and mercy, in Pali with karuna, I'm looking at you. Also, I'm inviting everyone to be kind. Nothing is permanent. Everything is impermanent. Anytime we may leave this world, including your parents, partners, children, your properties, vehicles, whatever. It is registered in your mind. It's me. It's my belongings. You have to leave anytime. At that time, you have to leave this physical body here. And then consciousness is gone. If our mind or consciousness is not trained, definitely we are going to reborn in one of hells because of this attachment or craving we call as tanha. By practicing this of path, slowly, step by step, with eightfold path, Arya Atangika Magga, just we have to reduce our craving. And then you may feel, I am following renunciation and nekama. There's a sign to having conclusion in my sermon. Therefore, I would like to have my conclusion in this Dhamma sermon. By the blessings of the Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha, dear devotees and Dhamma friends, may you be well, happy and peaceful, finally attain supreme Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. On this very greatest day is Vesak Day. Dr. Indira Kulatika, who works Richway Arya Children's Hospital at Colombo 8. You wanted to transfer merits what you accumulated by sponsoring this sermon. Those who departed, your beloved parents, who worked in the ministry as a secretary, lawyer J. Kulatilaka, and the retired teacher in Visakha College, Colombo, Madam Melbaring Kulatilaka. You are wishing to transfer these pure thoughts as merits towards your departed beloved mother and father who nurtured you, even you were in mother's womb. With the protection of your father, mother nurtured you with love and compassion. After you came to this world, up to this level, being a doctor, your mother and father, they gave you to have all kind of blessings and wishes to be good and healthy and wealthy. Of course, you are here today. Also, Anupa Dayas, Yasanta Dayas, they wanted to ask blessings from Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha towards Yasanta Dayas, Gayatri, and towards son Rojita. Also, Anusa Das and Hiran Das, these both people are asking for happiness towards their whole family. From the Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha, I would like to wish your family to be well and happy with the protections of the Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha. Also, you wanted to transfer merit towards your departed beloved parents. By absorbing this merit, may they be well and happy wherever they are at the moment. Recite gathas together. Idanno nyati nang hotu sukhita hontu nyatayo. Idanno nyati nang hotu sukhita hontu nyatayo. Idanno nyati nang hotu sukhita hontu nyatayo. Akasattha ca bummattha Devanaga Mahiddika Punyantang Anumoditva Chirang Rakhantu Sasanang, Chirang Rakhantu Desanang, Chirang Rakhantu Lokasasanang. May the triple gem bless with you. May you be well and happy. Finally attain supreme Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. We owe our gratitude and honor to Reverend Dr. Mirisse Dhammika Thero, preaching our valuable sermon in compassion for us. So let's wish our Reverend Thero the blessing of many triple gem and good health to continue this noble mission. So this is the occasion to offer Parishkara for the Reverend Thero. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Today our Vesak Poy Day special English sermon has reached the end. Again the connection is to JAYA TV main control room. Hoping join live again.